Thanks so much, everybody, for joining. Probably going to give it another 60 seconds just to give everybody a chance to get on and get the audio right, and then we will get going. I know it's not always easy to join these things on a Tuesday or a weekday afternoon. A lot of you are retailers and you've got stores to take care of, and I've been there, so I know how difficult it can be. So I really do appreciate it, and I'm going to do my best to help you get a lot out of this. I think I've got a lot of cool stuff that you can use, and I think the best part about everything we do here at the DPA is that it's all free. So um, that being said, I'm going to actually get going. We're 1 minute after 2, so on Eastern time. So before I start, I usually like to start with a video. And this is probably one of my favorite videos that we've ever done here at the DPA. We made this just a few weeks ago, right before JCK. So take a look, and I hope the audio and everything works perfectly on your end. So I hope you liked that video. After I came out with that a few weeks ago, we've just got the best response from the trade. It's been shared, I don't even know how many thousands of times at this point, and with millions of views. And I think it's something that, not only we love here in the trade because, it's just a cool video and it shows how cool diamonds are, but it's also consumers respond really well to it as well. So, I encourage retailers to, put this on their social, to embed it in their websites, to share it with their customers on a video loop or whatever you have in your store. And there's hundreds of retailers that are already doing that, and you're certainly more than welcome to. And I'm going to show you a little bit later how to access that. It's available on our YouTube channel, which is Real as a Diamond, but it's also available on our marketing portal, which I'll explain shortly. Excuse me. So there's a couple things in that video that I love to call out, and part of that is that diamonds are from 1 to 3 billion years old. And actually, in talking with GIA just a couple of weeks ago, GIA is now saying that 1 to 3.7 billion years is actually the average age. Canada being the oldest, where some of the oldest diamonds are found, which is really interesting. The majority of the diamonds that are recovered in the Arctic Circle in Canada are about 3.7 billion years old, which is pretty incredible because that far predates all life on Earth, which is just pretty unbelievable thing to think about. It's also, I like to point it out because I feel like this is not something that we talk about with our customers. I do speaking engagements all the time with the trade, and we've surveyed the trade, and it's amazing how many people in our own industry have no idea that diamonds are 1 billion plus years old. And just that one little thing can spark the interest of a consumer so much. It makes them think about diamonds in a different way. And I think that it's really important that we share those type of facts with our customers, because frankly, through all of the research that we've done at the DPA, we know that the consumers really respond very well to it. Another one of those facts is that diamonds are formed 100 miles beneath the Earth's surface, and that's at almost a minimum. There are super deep diamonds that are formed over 400 miles below the Earth's surface. And because of all of those things, we know that diamonds are obviously a finite product. The Earth is not making any more. They are rare. They are not a manufactured product, so they can't be replicated. And it's really those things, together, which make us kind of understand why diamonds symbolize the most important and special moments in people's life. And I think that sometimes, today's consumers might have kind of lost that. They've lost diamonds' connection to, why are diamonds so symbolic? And we need to get back to that. We need to bring back the romance a little bit, so that the consumers know why they're buying a diamond, not just buying them. And I think one of the most important things that we don't communicate is that diamonds make such an important socioeconomic contribution to the world. And that's something that I'm going to go into detail in, because we have a lot of data to back that up now, and it's unbelievable stuff to share with consumers. So I'm going to go into detail on that. So a little bit about me. My name is Grant Mobley. If you don't know who I am the trade director for the Diamond Producers Association. I grew up in the retail side of the industry, so I was born and raised in this industry just like a lot of you. My parents had stores outside of the Atlanta area, and after leaving GIA, I started working in the manufacturing sector in China and in Thailand. And then started working in New York in wholesale. So I've worked in a lot of different parts of the industry, but I ultimately found myself here almost 2 years ago at the DPA because I believed so much in what they were doing. And I truly love diamonds, and I truly love this industry. And I certainly will do anything to help this industry. And that's really why I'm here. And if you don't know exactly who the DPA is, we were founded just about 3 years ago, and the DPA is an international alliance of the world's leading diamond producers. Together, we represent about 75% of global rough diamond production, and our members are committed to ethical and sustainable business operations and transparent business practices. The mission of the DPA is to shed light on the legacy of the natural diamond story and journey, as well as on the industry itself and the important and valuable role that diamonds have in our lives. And, we do that in 3 ways. We do that through Real is Rare. And Real is Rare is our consumer-facing platform that hopefully most of you already know about. And that platform, Real is Rare, Real is a Diamond, is what houses our campaigns. So the campaigns that we launch every year, and also our consumer-facing websites and our social channels and so forth. And the idea of Real is Rare, Real is a Diamond is to immerse and inspire consumers within the universe of diamonds, but also to educate them as well. Also, a big part of what we do is research and insights. And we conduct a range of qualitative and quantitative research from which the insights are provided as tools for the trade. And all of that research helps shape our strategies and campaigns going forward. So that's a very, very big part of what we do. And lastly, we are your resource. So we are a trade resource, from sales trainings to information, directories, insights, customizable marketing assets, and so on. The DPA wants to be able to provide those as a resource for free to the trade, because ultimately everyone's goal is just that we want everybody to sell more diamonds. I mean, at the end of the day, we want everybody to sell more, and these are the things that we do to help make that happen. So what I'm going to share with you today are some of our 2019 initiatives, because we've made a lot of strides in the last year or so that we've been operating, because we are such a young organization. And we've got a lot of great things going on this year that already started, and we've got some great things to come. And I just want to go through some of that with you. So first of all, and this is probably something that you've heard a little bit before, but today, women are more empowered, more successful, and more independent than ever. She is your chance to propel your business, and she is your next big diamond sale. And the DPA is really trying to help you seize that opportunity. And we want to try to do that with our new campaign that I'll show in just a second. But this campaign will increase your self-purchase diamond business because it will move women to purchase diamond jewelry just as they self-purchase already expensive handbags, technology, and fashion. And this campaign celebrates the distinct pride and joy women feel in purchasing diamonds for themselves. It's a celebration of self that is beautifully embodied by the unique qualities of natural diamonds. It's timely for the diamond industry to finally acknowledge and service the different needs and mindset and expectations of the female self-purchaser. Because as I'm sure all of you know, this industry has historically focused on men as the customer, when in reality, more than 90% of the jewelry ends up in the hands of a woman. So we really need to be talking to women. So, but first, I want to show a little bit of data. We conducted extensive research, including surveying thousands of women aged 18 to 70. And believe it or not, in the US, 32% of all natural diamonds sold in 2018 were already to the self-purchase client, which we thought was really, really interesting. And that includes women that were involved in buying their engagement ring, heavily involved in buying their engagement ring. And out of that 32%, 1/3 of those are millennials, which would be about 24 to 38 years old. And then 1/3 are married women. And 41% of older and single women self-purchase their diamond jewelry. So what the data really showed us was that there wasn't a single defining sort of demographic for the type of woman that was buying for herself. It was young people, it was old people, it was middle-aged people, it was married people, it was unmarried people, you name it. So it was all over the board. There was nothing that really stood out. And, I tell that to people because a lot of retailers think that they need to start focusing self-purchase on just younger people or just older people that they think they have more money. But that's really not the case. You should be focusing this on every woman. Every single woman that walks in your door could potentially be a big sale. And that's really what I'm trying to get across. And also, you might have a misconception about what she's willing to spend. Retailers tell me all the time, oh yeah, self-purchase is fine, but women only buy things $300 or $400. It's not important to us. But that's actually not true. In research in 2017 and 2018 showed that the average price for self-purchase item is now up to $1,300. That's self-purchase jewelry item. And that average price is up to $1,300, which is now on par with a diamond gifted item. So now the average price that a guy might spend on his girlfriend, for instance, is the same as what the girl might spend on herself in your store. So that's a really important thing to think about. So I just want you to listen to we took focus groups over several months last year with many hundreds of women, and we filmed a couple of those focus groups, and I wanted you to hear how they talked about buying diamonds for themselves and kind of what it made them feel, because a lot of what these women said went into the thought process behind creating this campaign. And I think it's interesting for retailers to see this kind of behind the scene footage, because it kind of can trigger different ways that you can then go and speak to your clients. Because if you know what women feel about how they're buying, then it's easier for you to then sell to them because you know how to trigger those certain emotions. So take a listen to this. I think it's really, really interesting.
Diamonds are classic, powerful, strong, and beautiful, just like you.
Wearing it makes us feel very confident and polished and put together.
It's a form of loving yourself.
To me, it's a beautiful piece of artwork.
We work really hard and we deserve nice things. We really want to pamper ourselves.
Because it's like more of a sense of pride if you buy it for yourself. If it's a gift, then you're going to love it, but it's not, you can't be as proud of it.
And sometimes loving yourself means go buy you a dime.
Like, I hope to have kids one day, and the thought is all my jewelry will go to my kids.
It can be something that I can pass down to my daughter or something to that effect.
Let me put in my superhero like woman earrings because I am woman, hear me roar.
I feel like if I'm a happy mommy, then everybody's happy in my house. So mommy needs a diamond once in a while.
I'm gonna buy my own jewelry all the time and make myself happy.
Yeah.
Without having to owe anybody an explanation. I'm in control of it.
You know, it's an investment. It's a lifetime investment.
Just feel that confidence and I stand up a little straighter and I'm doing things that I want to do for myself.
A diamond is gonna last. I'm not gonna throw it on the floor. I'm not gonna, throw it in the drawer. It's gonna be on me.
I'm a very big giver and I do a lot like in the community and I like to help people in need. And sometimes I've been through periods where I didn't consider myself enough. So I really like to invest in myself and pour into myself to remind myself that, I'm working hard and I deserve something as well. But there's a sense of like happiness that I get from putting something into myself.
So I hope you liked that, and I think that hopefully you can get something out of it. I think we can all learn something from our own customers. So now that you've seen that, I want to show you the 30-second commercial that we launched at the Oscars this year at the end of February. This is the launch of this campaign entitled "For Me From Me." So take a look. So I hope a lot of you have already seen that before. There's more than 50 retailers are running custom TV spots around the country that with this creative, we've got just an amazing response from consumers and also from the trade. You can see here, it really spans generations and cultural groups, and it's just the testing on this creative has just been hugely positive. These are some of examples of the print advertising that we use. And also, this is again available to you, the retailer, to use along with the commercials. They're completely available for retailers to use. And I'm going to go into a little bit more detail on how you can access all of that. But everything that we do, all of this creative that we produce, we make it for the retailers. That's the point of it. So, always keep that in mind. This is just a kind of, retailers usually find this interesting. This is how we mix our media. 55% of our budget is spent on digital, which is probably pretty similar to what you do in your own stores. We do all national buys, obviously. But we do 55% digital, 18% TV, and that TV is obviously focused on, YouTube and Hulu style television, with a few live broadcasts thrown in there as well, including the Met Gala and also the Oscars this year, and some things coming up later in the year as well, some live TV moments. And then we're pretty heavy, in print. We do a lot of partnerships with print companies and some really cool stories and things like that as well. And obviously influencers, and I'm sure that some retailers, I know that some retailers are using influencers for their local markets, but it's a hugely important thing for us to do nationwide as well. We've partnered with people like Anna Kendrick, people like Kourtney Kardashian, and what we do is we get them to tell their own stories about buying diamonds for themselves and how it makes them feel, their own for me, from me moments. And that's really what kind of moves the needle. We want them to talk about what it makes them feel like. And we've got a lot more influencer stuff planned for the third and fourth quarter as well. So that there's a lot of exciting things happening. And so I want to talk more about how the DPA is your resource, for all of these materials. So we make all these materials available to you through a portal that we created. We call the marketing portal. That portal is shop.diamondproducers.com, which is shop.diamond diamondproducers.com. And I'm going to have that up on the screen a little bit later. But within that marketing portal, you can download and customize all of these assets. And there's even some print assets in there that you can order as well. You can also request the custom TV commercials in that marketing portal. Another thing that we're offering is sales training. So we're actually going into retailers all over the country, the retailers that choose to take part in amplifying our campaigns. We're going into those stores and we're actually training their employees with a professional sales team through a company called Performance Concepts, which probably a lot of you have already heard of, Kate Peterson's company. And with her company, we've partnered with her to do this sales training in store, and the feedback has been amazing. And we're also doing webinar-based trainings for smaller stores as well. And we will even license manufacturers and designers. We license them from me so they can use in their own creative if they want to. And we also, all of the custom TV, out-of-home media like TV, like billboards and so forth, we also allow for market exclusivity on a first-come, first-served basis. And we also will add your store onto the Real as a Diamond website as a part of the zip code lookup. When a customer is driven to the Real as a Diamond website from our marketing, they can enter their zip code and find a retailer near them. And so we will also add you to that if you are amplifying our assets. One of the most important things I think that we offer is our e-learning platform. So our e-learning platform, absolutely any retailer and salesperson can do. Definitely write this down. This is probably one of the most important things that I'll say is that diamondproducers.com/trade portal. If you go to that and create an account, it takes about 30 seconds to create an account. Within just a couple minutes, you'll be able to access the e-learning platform. And the e-learning platform is about an hour long total, and you can start and stop as much as you want to. But we encourage all salespeople, anybody that is in front of a consumer selling jewelry, all of them to do this e-learning platform. It tells you some amazing information about diamonds that a lot of people don't know or they don't remember. It has some great sales training information. It talks about the differences in natural diamonds and synthetic diamonds, which is obviously such a hot topic. And so many retail salespeople have no idea how to talk to customers about the differences and so forth. So it's hugely, hugely important. There's also some fantastic diamonds do good type stories in there, and that positive socioeconomic benefit that diamonds have throughout the world, and how you can talk about that with your customers. So if you haven't done our e-learning platform, diamondproducers.com/trade portal, go create an account. It takes 30 seconds. It's totally free. It is an amazing program. There is no question that it will help you sell behind the counter, and absolutely no question. So there's really no excuse not to do it. And feel free to email me with any questions. I'll have my email up on the screen shortly. This is just an example of some of the digital advertising that we do, where we can customize with your store. All of our digital and print and social stuff we can customize with your store super, super easily, all there in our marketing portal. So a lot of retailers say, okay, well, I definitely want to do this. How do I do it? And all you have to do is go to our marketing portal. So this marketing portal is shop.diamondproducers.com, shop.diamondproducers.com. Go to that website and you can literally immediately go in. You don't even have to create login information. You can immediately go in and you can access those materials. You can direct download social media assets. You can request the custom TV commercials. You can, you can order print assets for us to ship to you, Duratrends, counter cards, billboard creative. You can direct download and customize. We have radio scripts that you can direct download. So many useful things I can't even explain. Infographics and some really, really great stuff. So definitely go to this portal. All of this stuff is, you can access and download immediately for free. And it's fantastic. And, that's what we're here for, is to provide this sort of stuff. So also people that are already amplifying our campaign, you get previews, exclusive previews for upcoming campaigns, which we do have a campaign that's launching in the fall, so that's really exciting. And also these customized TV commercials. I wanted to show you an example of. So this is just kind of a random example, but what we do is we actually work with a company that does this customization for us, and they're able to do it for a very inexpensive price. It allows us to do it at scale. And that allows you to basically get the creative for very, very little cost. These customizations cost about $1,800, which is, as you know, if you've ever done TV, is incredibly cheap. And it's we have a free version and also a paid version. I'm going to show you both. But again, these are all available to you. So I'm going to show you the free version first, which is a simple tag version. Actually, I'm sorry, I want to go back. I don't have the simple tag version on here. I only have the custom one, but the simple tag version is the same thing, but it just has your logo and everything at the end.
For me, from me. At London Jewelers, we believe that sometimes the best gifts are the ones we give to ourselves. Visit us to view our signature collection of handmade diamond jewelry. London Jewelers, diamond experts since 1926. Real is rare. Real is a diamond.
So we have more than 50 jewelers running that across the country, and it has been hugely, hugely successful. So if that's something you're interested in, please, let us know, and we're happy to talk about it. And it is, for the particular market, it is first come, first serve. And obviously those markets depend on how big your particular market is. So we have, like I said, we have a fully, integrated mix of assets, including video, stills, in-store collateral, and so on. And this campaign, the For Me, From Me campaign, is in full swing, and there will be new campaigns to take advantage of every year, including an exciting campaign, like I said, that's launching this fall. So if you really come on board with us and start amplifying these assets, I promise you it would be worth it, with sales training and the e-learning and being able to take advantage of these. And there's absolutely no cost to retailers whatsoever. We do not take money in any way. So, you just need to visit that portal and to get started, really. And so while our campaigns are designed to drive customers to your door, and leveraging our campaigns and assets and training will only help make that happen, without continued trust and confidence from your customers, that won't mean very much. As the prevalence of synthetic diamonds in the jewelry market has gone up and grown over the past couple of years, so has the risk of accidentally selling undisclosed synthetic diamonds. Now, this puts your customer and trade confidence at risk. We all have an obligation to disclose clearly and accurately the nature of the product that we are selling. Accurate disclosure requires reliable instruments and a robust practice across your pipeline. And the Assure program is your resource and directory to determine the best instrument to fit your needs. With the Assure program, we have worked with UL, which is a third-party laboratory, to develop a universal testing standard to test the performance of diamond verification instruments in a consistent manner. And, like I said, as natural diamonds and synthetic diamonds have very different values, people in our trade have a legal obligation to disclose clearly and accurately the nature of which product that they're selling. And one of the key tools is obviously having diamond verification instrument in your store. And I talk to retailers every single day, and I'm always amazed how many do not have verification instruments in your store. And believe it or not, I'm always amazed by how many manufacturers, designers, and so forth also don't have machines before they ship out product to retailers. And whether it's right or not, we all have to protect ourselves individually. And I tell this to retailers all the time. At the end of the day, it will be the retailer's responsibility. And that is, it's nobody likes that. It sucks. But if you're the one that's selling the product and you sell something that was sent to you by a manufacturer that you thought was natural and it was not, it was a synthetic, then it's going to come back on you. It's not really going to come back as much on the manufacturer. So you do need these machines in your store. You do need to test every single piece that comes in the door. And if we don't start doing that and holding our suppliers accountable so that they're testing in their operations, then we're going to run into some very, very big problems on down the road, frankly. So obviously these machines that you can have in your store, they range in different types of technology, and they range in complexity and capability. And the Assure program will deliver ongoing testing of these instruments as they come to market to ensure that the trade is fully informed of the relative performance of these instruments. So, you can see here, you've got a machine here in the top that costs tens of thousands of dollars, and then you've got a machine here at the bottom that just costs hundreds of dollars. So it's definitely understanding that retailers can be confused into what machine they need to buy for their operation. So the entire idea simply of this Assure program is that we developed a testing standard. We actually worked with all of these laboratories here around the world, including GIA, and we developed a testing standard with them in order to test these instruments in a consistent manner. And we did that because we have to know if the machines that we're using are actually doing a good job. And again, the Diamond Producers Association, we are a completely independent third party. We do not sell any machines. We are not going to sell any machines. It's just our job, because it's nobody else's really, to make sure that the machines that are on the market are doing the job. And it's also our job to make sure that people actually are buying these machines and using them, because if we're not, then we're going to run into issues on down the road. And again, we worked with this company, UL. They performed all of the testing. You've probably seen UL's logo on about a billion different products, because they're the largest testing laboratory for electronics in the world. And so UL did all the tests, along with our technical committee from gemological laboratories around the world, providing insight and so forth into the testing, and also the sample of stones that was used in the testing. So definitely go to diamondproducers.com/assure. This is hugely, hugely important. I can't stress it enough. If you do not have a machine, if you do not have a policy in your store regarding what do you do if you get a synthetic from a manufacturer that's supposed to be natural, then you need to set up those policies, and you need to start holding suppliers accountable, because it's the only way that we're going to stop this from happening. So the Assure program it's a very new program, I'm sure, and its purpose but its purpose is more important than ever. Consumers care about truth, and they care about transparency. Consumers also care where diamonds come from and the impact that diamonds have on communities, on people, and on the land. Our Total Clarity Report provides the facts that will help you tell the real diamond story in a way that consumers respond to. So here to give you a little intro to the Total Clarity Report and its findings is my CEO, Jean-Marc. In this short video, I think he can do a really good job of summing it up.
Today, more than ever before, we want to know where things come from. We want to understand the impact they have on our environment. We want to understand the impact they have on our lives, on the lives of men and women who were involved in bringing them to us. In response to this need for transparency and sustainability, the diamond sector has gone through an unprecedented transformation over the past 15 years. Today, I want to present an important new transparency initiative from the 7 members of the Diamond Producers Association, who together represent 75% of the world production of natural diamond. This initiative, labeled Total Clarity, has taken nearly 2 years to complete and required the collection of thousands of data points by Trucost. We're proud to present the results of this study. Overall, diamond mining generates every year a net $16 billion in positive socioeconomic and environmental benefits in countries in which we operate. It is $16 billion, of value created every year for local communities through local employment, local sourcing of goods and services, infrastructure and social programs, as well, of course, as taxes and dividends paid to local government, which in turn are reinvested in the country. Collectively, we have protected over 260,000 hectares, or 1,000 square miles, of natural land in Australia, Botswana, Canada, South Africa, Tanzania, and Yakutia. Don't get me wrong, I'm not suggesting that the diamond industry is perfect. No industry is. There is still a long road ahead of us before we can rest. Importantly, the Total Clarity report also points to some areas in which diamond mining companies are committing to ongoing collaboration for continuous improvement. These include the sharing of best practices to reduce energy use and green gas emissions, or the further improvement of our already very strong employee health and safety record. We encourage you to go to our website at total-clarity.com. I am sure that you will find that the Total Clarity study corrects many myths and misconceptions about the impact of diamond mining. It also rightly points to the need and opportunity to improve further so that we're all forever confident in buying and wearing a natural diamond.
So that video is also available for you to use. It's on the Diamond Producers YouTube page and on our website and everything. So, you know, if you want to share that with on your social or anything, you're obviously more than welcome to. So as Jean-Marc said in the video, earlier in May, we released the first ever independent research report on the diamond's impact on local communities, employees, and the environment. And this report was authored by a company called Trucost. It is the very first comprehensive analysis of the contributions of DPA members, examining socioeconomic and environmental benefits and impacts. Trucost is an independent third-party company. They're an S&P Global company who specializes in examining the impact of complex businesses. And they do this for countries, they do this for the United Nations and so forth. It's a incredibly reputable third-party company. And Trucost measured the total benefits and impact of our members' activities across 21 socioeconomic and environmental indicators. They spent 2 years on our project and analyzed more than 150 different metrics. And key among those findings were that each year, the DPA members produce $16 billion in net positive benefits around the world, equating to $482 for every polished carat, which is pretty amazing. And I want to dive deeper into the results that we have broken down into 3 main areas, which are our communities, our people, and our environment. This is just kind of how we've broken up this information, because it is a lot of information, and we've tried to make it as easy for, you know, the trade and even consumers to kind of see this information. So this is Iona McKenzie. She is a senior team leader at Dominion's processing plant in the Ekati mine in northern Canada. She's an example of our first key takeaway from this study, and it's that the industry offers high-paying jobs, excellent job training, and a safe work environment. The vast majority of our workforce comes from within the local communities in which the mines operate. In fact, it was found that DPA members collectively employ 77,000 worldwide employees, and that's comparable to Fortune 500 companies such as Coca-Cola and Google. This is Kimmy Balseal. She's an environmental officer at the De Beers Group. She once believed that she would have to leave the tiny remote town called Yellowknife in Northwest Canada that she was from. She said that the discovery of diamonds has completely revived the community, and the mining companies hire almost exclusively local residents, particularly Indigenous people.
If you protect the land will protect you. That's a common saying when you speak to an elder. It's a lot of work, but it's necessary. We have 3 golden rules: 0 harm, continual improvement, and resource compliance.
So when we were out at Gaucho Quay last year, we got Kimmy to record that for us. She's really fantastic. So all of our members have made a commitment to 0 harm in the workplace. And the report shows that safety incidents at our member companies are a fraction of those observed in similar sectors. For example, on average, there are 17 times more lost time injuries in the construction industry in America than there are in in diamond mining, which is pretty amazing. And I thought another one thing that was really interesting is that it is actually far more dangerous to work in retail in America than it is to work in a diamond mine. So as you can tell, there's so many common misconceptions about the industry, that we need to start communicating these things to our consumers. And that's really why I'm talking here today. So our members and our employees and contractors are also highly trained. The average DPA member, employer, contractor is paid 66% more than the national average salary and receives 5 times the living wage for his or her country. Salaries and wages paid by DPA members created $3.9 billion in direct benefits. These gentlemen here work at Petra in Southern Africa, and they're participating in a skills development workshop to help them learn carpentry and other transferable skills. These skills are valuable to them if they ever choose to leave the diamond industry. So I think this is something that's really important to me, is that, you can imagine when a diamond mine might go into a smaller community, and then, what happens if the mine gets exhausted and they come out of that community? What happens to these employees? So, diamond mines think about all this stuff way, way, way ahead of time, because diamond mining is such a long-term proposition. So they make sure that the employees are heavily trained in other industries, so that if anything like that ever happens, or if they ever choose to leave the industry, that they can always get jobs in other fields, and that the local economy keeps moving as normal. So this is the Acacia Primary School near the Jwaneng mine in Botswana, which was originally established for the children of mine employees, but today is open to everyone in the area. The diamond mining industry makes a vital contribution to the socioeconomic development of diamond producing countries and communities that goes way beyond just employment. Our members purchase the bulk of their goods and services needed for their operations from local businesses, and this creates a significant lasting impact on local economies. They also pay a large share of their revenues to the country in which they mine in the form of taxes, royalties, and dividends. Entire countries such as Botswana have been completely transformed by diamond revenues just in the past few years, and I'll go into a little bit more detail on Botswana. So our members infuse every year $6.8 billion in benefits into local communities only through the purchase of local goods and services. So this is actually a soap making shop that has been helped with the investment committee funding in the village of Kwai near the Arapa mine. Local communities also receive $3.9 billion annually in benefits through social programs such as health and education. These children are part of the way that Alrosa gives back in their local communities in northern Siberia. They sponsor recreation centers and schools. DPA members also provided another $3 billion in tax revenue, royalties, and dividends, which in turn fund local infrastructure and other civic developments in the countries in which they operate. 60% of the total benefits of DPA members are infused into local communities through the sourcing of goods and services, taxes and royalties, social programs, and infrastructure investment. So this is Botswana. And I love to talk about Botswana because it is one of the world's great development success stories. Not just in the diamond industry, but this is a worldwide development success story across any industry. Before diamonds were discovered in Botswana, the country had only 6 kilometers of paved road. And today it has over 7,000. Poverty has been completely cut in half in Botswana, and every child in Botswana now receives free primary and secondary education thanks to diamonds. There are now more than 300 secondary schools in the country, compared with just 3 before the discovery of diamonds. It is also one of the safest countries in Africa and notable for its economic stability. Modern diamond mining is a long-term investment, and members actively build long-term partnerships in the communities in which they work. These are students, Tyler and Patrick, and they're participating in land reclamation project as part of Dominion Mines community engagement. DPA and its members recognize that environmental stewardship is one of the main obligations of the diamond mining industry, and every DPA member works in close collaboration with local communities and governments to control their environmental impact. Today, controlling and continuing to reduce our environmental footprint is a huge priority for diamond mining companies. And DPA member companies are tackling this challenge through a range of initiatives, including increased access to renewable energies, energy reduction initiatives, and carbon capture research programs. And this is, I think, something really interesting as well, that, you know, a lot of people have this misconception about the industry that it has this huge footprint on the land. But if you combined all of the land used for diamond mining and combined it into one area, it would only fit in a size of about the size of New York City, a little bit smaller than New York City. And that's every single diamond mine in the world would fit into that size. And collectively, our members protect more than 3 times that amount of land, which is over 1,000 square miles that is protected. With diamond mining, the impact on soils and water is very limited and under very strict control by governments and communities, because separating diamonds from soil and rock is a completely chemical-free process, and almost all of the waste rock is placed back into the natural landscape. Also, 83% of the water that is used is recycled. And this is a big, obviously a hot topic as well in the industry, because the largest source for DPA member environmental footprint are carbon emissions. And when TrueCost conducted this study, we wanted to put these carbon emissions into some a way that was a little bit easier to understand. So our carbon emit, because it doesn't mean much to people when you say that the carbon emissions for a 1 carat polished diamond is 160 kilograms of CO2. That doesn't mean much to people. But when you associate this with other things, it can really come into perspective. So a MacBook Air, for instance, to make one MacBook Air is about 136 kilograms of CO2. So it's very, very close to the same as a 1 carat polished diamond. Also, it's about 1 carat polished diamond is a little bit less than to make 3 iPhones, for instance. And one of the most interesting things that TrueCost found is that the environmental impact of a lab-grown diamond is 511 kilograms of CO2 per polished carat, which is obviously about 3 times more than natural diamonds. This is part of the reason that, obviously the FTC does warning letters to lab-grown companies that make false eco-claims. So, any eco-claims that are made have to be substantiated according to the green guides in the FTC, which is why they're not allowed to say that. So, again, this is a very, very easy way for you to explain to your customers if carbon impact is a problem with them. I can, probably a lot of us can imagine a customer walking into your store and saying, well, I don't want a diamond because of the carbon footprint. And then you should probably ask that person how many MacBook Airs or how many MacBooks they've bought in the last 10 years, because it's probably a few, where of course the diamond is something they're going to have forever. So this is one of my favorite stories because it's something that's super exciting. This is a geologist, Dr. Evelyn Mervine, and her colleague. They're working on a project at De Beers that aims to establish a completely carbon neutral mine within 5 to 8 years. This project is focused on capturing carbon dioxide through a process called mineral carbonation. And certain types of rock can act like a sponge, taking carbon dioxide from the atmosphere and locking it away in a safe and non-toxic solid material. In this case, the rock that they're using is kimberlite, which hopefully a lot of you know. Kimberlite is the rock that diamonds are found in. It's a type of volcanic rock. So this is a really exciting project. And one of the most exciting parts is that De Beers is working on this, obviously, but they're also sharing all of these findings and information with all of the other mining companies. That way, this will be a benefit to the entire industry, and it's something that everyone can use to create carbon neutral mines in a very near future. So I know that that's a lot of information that I've thrown at you. And what I want you to get out of it is I want you to get out of it that there's so much great information about this industry, and I guarantee you're not talking about it. And that's the thing, is that we know that when consumers hear this information, we know how positive their responses, and we know that it makes them feel better about diamonds, and we know that it makes them want to purchase diamonds and more willing to purchase diamonds. So these are things that we should be communicating to all of our customers, because it's going to help absolutely everyone in the industry, and it's going to help the reputation of the industry. And now that we have all of this hard data to back it up, we're crazy not to communicate this information. So I want to play a quick video. This is the last thing I'm going to do. I play this video, and this is from a focus groups that we did early in the year when we first, but right before we released the study, we exposed people all over the country to the information in this study to see how they would react to it, and to also see if it would change their perceptions about diamonds. So have a listen.
Sometimes you don't really know where stuff is coming from, so you don't really think about it.
If the information is there, then you definitely got to pay attention to it.
The perception of diamond producers is like that kind of blood diamond maybe perception a little bit. So knowing that they invest in their employees and there's opportunities for them, it makes me feel like makes me feel better about shopping for diamonds.
And I think the human side of the impact is really important here.
So I always viewed it as a very negative kind of work environment, but this completely switched my mind.
I place more value in the people.
It seems to be that the local areas are reliant on this economic contribution, so it does make a bigger impact than what I would think when I'm buying a diamond.
And to see how they empower the communities, and they actually are a leading source of high-paying jobs.
It really made me feel confident that it's okay, you're taking care of the people, local community, and all that.
Actually reading these facts and the Botswana story and stuff, it felt a little bit more global.
The independent auditor.
Yeah, I wrote down transparency.
Transparency.
You would never think of diamond developers in the UN working hand in hand towards a common goal.
The economic impacts that the industry creates are more important than we also protect the animals. Again, that's awesome. Give people a reason to visit these places, but
it's not as important.
We're being told that they are putting money back into healthcare and training to help the local community, then that makes a difference and it shifts that perception.
So I hope you liked that video. It really gives you a good idea of how consumers respond. So the last thing is I just want to tell you that in the same way that we have tools for retailers and other people in the trade to use for our campaigns, we also have tools for retailers to use for the Total Clarity research study. We have fact sheets, we have social media assets and videos that you can share. We have training about, training your employees about how to communicate these things, and so forth. And we also even have print booklets that are fantastic to give to your customers or have on top of counter. But please visit the Total Clarity website, which is right here on the screen, total-clarity.com. It's a fantastic website. We have a lot of retailers that are linking to that website from their own websites. If you have diamond informational pages, for instance, this is a great thing to link to show your consumers the positive impact about diamonds, and so forth. It's really fantastic. So that is where I'm going to end. I have my email is up on the screen. It's grant@diamondproducers.com. Please email me after this if you have any questions about how to access anything, and I'm absolutely happy to answer those. But I want to end there because I know that this has been about almost an hour, so it's about everybody's limit, I think. So I really thank everybody again for joining in, and I really hope that you take advantage of all of this free stuff, and because it's going to help you sell more diamonds. There's absolutely no question about it. It's going to educate your employees, and it's good for everybody. So again, I really appreciate it. We're here as a resource for you, so feel free to reach out. Thank you so much, and take care, everybody.